All right, Raleigh, if you're not already hungry this morning, we're potentially about to make you very hungry because today's podcast is all about food and especially classic Southern dishes that if you're new to North Carolina or from outside of Raleigh, you may not have tried yet. So we're gonna share a few of the classic Southern dishes that you can indulge in, but you might not want to overindulge, particularly if you're in a New Year's health kick, because you probably wouldn't classify them as superfoods.
No,
Very,
definitely
very
not.
hearty and very filling and, yeah, very tasty, but maybe not so great for the waistline.
Very fried. Even our most beloved vegetables end up being fried.
And seafood. Being from Australia, one thing we're still getting used to over here is how much you guys fry the seafood. We love our seafood fresh or grilled, but you guys love to fry. You love to fry everything, let's face it.
No, we're like, stop. No, don't do that. Don't fry that shrimp. Don't fry that scampi.
But when in the South, I guess, accept it and indulge in it and appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we travel. If you want everything to be the same, stay at home. Like you travel to explore new things. Doesn't mean you have to like it, but at least have a go at it and appreciate it for what it is. If you don't like it, whatever, other people do.
Yeah. I mean, we're not experts on all this Southern fried stuff, but we've tasted most of the dishes and we can share our perspective. Now, Raleigh, thankfully the Raleigh food scene, it's not just all about barbecue and slaw and mac and cheese anymore. Like it's thriving. And fried okra. The restaurant scene is thriving and it now rivals like other southern cities like Charleston and Atlanta and Nashville. And there's like lots of award-winning chefs here, James Beard award-winning chefs. There's a lot of global dishes. I mean, we could pretty much eat anything from anywhere around the world here.
That's right.
Almost.
It's good quality too.
Yeah.
And Durham, close by, that's an amazing southern foodie city as well. So
Yes.
we're
Durham.
spoiled.
Durham has won some awards as the, what was it called? The tastiest town in the South.
In the South, yep.
So, but yeah, Raleigh food scene is great. So it's one of the many, many reasons we love living here. All right.
So I have to work out every day really hard because
Yes.
I appreciate the Raleigh
Yes.
cuisine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go through a list here and I'm just doing some research and figuring out the best places for each particular dish. I mean, we've eaten in a lot of places, but the more I research and look into it, it is endless. We've got our work cut out for us this year, knocking off all these places, but
Well,
we'll
I'm
do
up
our
for a
best.
challenge.
We'll do our best to taste test our way around here.
All right. And we do rely on your recommendations. So keep them coming. You on our Instagram, Facebook, even via email, people have sent us some really awesome tips. So keep sending them our way.
All right, first food item dish on the list is barbecue. Now, Carolina barbecue. North Carolina is pretty famous for their barbecue. They take it pretty seriously around here. They do it a little differently. If you're familiar with barbecue, there's a few popular cities or states in the country like Kansas City barbecue, which we haven't tried yet, and they're focused on a thick tomato-y based sauce. Same with Memphis is more tomato-y based, and Texas barbecue, they're more grilled and smoked meats, and they get most of their flavour from the meat and the fat once it's cooked.
That's my favourite. Give me the fatty kind.
But Carolina barbecue, there's also Eastern and like Lexington Western barbecue, but we're going to focus on Eastern barbecue being in Raleigh. So that's more your vinegar-based sauce, and they cook the whole hog, slow cook it over hot coals, and then they like pull the pork apart or chop it apart and stuff like that.
Which is commonly referred to as pulled pork too, right?
Pulled pork, chopped barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but yeah, kind of similar, I guess, all the same. And typically the barbecue here is served either as a sandwich or as like a plated dish. And, like I said, it's very popular. You can enjoy it at restaurants, tailgating at a football game or a sporting event. People you can see barbecuing all the time. Just the smell is just amazing. Like even if you're not eating it, like it just draws you in. backyards, pretty much everywhere and anywhere. Like,
Yep.
barbecue's a big deal.
It is, and what you pair it with too is very some common things. Boiled cabbage, collards. Actually, really, I never used to, but I've gotten used to the
They're
southern
on the
way
list
of
to
doing
chat about
collards.
later.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, a lot of typical sides like slaw,
Coleslaw.
mac and cheese, collards. We're gonna talk about a few of them specifically later. But yeah,
All right.
all your good fixings that go along with your barbecue. But I'm just going to share a few popular places in Raleigh to try some barbecue. First of all, just the other day, we went to one of the classics, Old Time Barbecue off Hillsborough Street. One of the first restaurants we went to, taken there by our local friend way back in 2004.
Heedish, who you heard about in episode 2.
You might be hearing a lot about Heedish through this podcast.
We've got to make Heedish famous.
Although our partying days in Glenwood South, where we spent a lot of time with Heedish, they're kind of not as frequent as they used to be due to parenting and COVID. But we won't get into that. But yeah, he took us to like the classic barbecue joint in Raleigh. Old school. It's like a shack. Great home customer service. And yeah,
Really cool.
known for their chopped barbecue, their ribs and their sides.
Yes, very popular with the locals, and we've heard their breakfast is pretty good too, which we haven't checked out yet, but it's on the
we haven't.
list. But their barbecue was great. The ribs were delicious, so good that we forgot to use the sauce because we didn't need
they were
it.
just finger licking good.
They
We'll
were.
just pinch that from somebody else. Other places, the Pit Authentic Barbecue in the Warehouse District in downtown Raleigh is a great barbecue place. We've been there several times. Again, they're known for their chopped barbecue. Their baby back ribs are amazing. I mentioned on the blog and Instagram about their burger is just humongous and delicious. The Big Boy Burger. And they got some great sides too. They got outdoor seating, which is helpful in these times, and they also have live music on the weekends. It's just one of the popular places in Raleigh. One of the other classic barbecue places and one of the oldest restaurants in Raleigh is Clyde Cooper's. I also went there recently, and it's just such a Raleigh thing. Like when you're in there and eating, you're like, this is Raleigh. Like, you know, you're in the South. Again, that the personal customer service and the barbecue and the sides. It was super cool. And they got the old cool decor and like a wall of fame too of famous people who've been in there from old presidents, Bush. Raleigh's famous American Idol performers, Clay Aiken and Scotty McCreery. He's the last name, or it escapes me. Yeah. But yeah, that's a cool place to go for the food and the vibes. Also, check out Sam Jones has just moved to downtown Raleigh. We haven't been there yet, but they're famous out of Greenville, North Carolina. Aviator Smokehouse in Fuquay Varina. Haven't been there either, but that also gets rave reviews and mentions if you're down in the Fuquay southern part of the area. And Prime Barbecue in Nightdale also gets great reviews. And every time I look on their site or on their Instagram to go out there, they've sold out each day. I think they only make, which is typical in some places, they only prepare X amount of food each day, and once it's gone, it's gone. That was a thing in Austin. When I was in Austin for a conference one time, there was a really famous barbecue place there, but I could never get to eat there because they'd sold out every day before I had a chance. So, so check out those places, put them on your list. There is many more, and I'd love to hear your tips because we're still working our way through it. We're creating a blog post, actually, best barbecue places in Raleigh, but it's going to be, a long list eventually.
Sounds great.
Yes. All right. I'm just having a sip of my coffee, still waking up here.
You can also tag us on Instagram if you're sharing some barbecue photos at This Is Raleigh because we'd love to.
All right. Now, speaking of fried, there's nothing more fried or famous, I guess, than southern fried chicken. As we said, they like to fry everything here, especially their chicken. Or known simply as fried chicken. And in the South, fried chicken is typically soaked in buttermilk, then coated in seasoned flour. And it's a dish consisting of chicken pieces and either pan-fried, deep-fried, pressure-fried, or air-fried.
There you go. That's a secret recipe.
Yeah, I'm reading some notes here. This is not off the top of my head. The breading says the breading adds a crisp coating or crust to the exterior of the chicken while like the juices of the meat still come through.
Sounds good. I didn't
there
get
you
to
go.
try any of this great stuff because I am gluten-free, so I can't eat it. And I used to be vegetarian, but Kalyra, our eldest daughter, is our southern fried chicken taster.
Yeah, she loves the fried chicken sandwiches. Like they're a staple for her. And most restaurants have some version of a fried chicken sandwich, so she's happy no matter what places we go.
She is, and you can also look for creative spins on it because I know Tombo Ramen down in downtown, they do the JFC, the Japanese fried chicken.
Right.
So it's a twist on this southern dish. So it's the fried chicken on some dry ramen.
Yeah.
Well, ramen without the broth. So check that out.
Yeah, but popular places in Raleigh to get your southern fried chicken fix, like Beasley's Chicken and Honey in downtown, one of Ashley Christensen's restaurants. You've probably heard of her. When I mentioned award-winning chef, she's probably the most well-known chef in Raleigh.
And she's about to open a fast food fried chicken burger place.
That's right. The name escapes me, but it's going to be all about fried chicken.
Yep.
And if she can nail it, if anyone can nail it, she can. Beasley's Chicken and Honey. Isla's Southern Kitchen. I'm seeing a lot of mentions about this place. It's in the Morgan Street Food Hall, which we've been to several times, but we've never eaten here.
I don't recall seeing
So we
it.
definitely have to check it out next time. When we go to Morgan Street Food Hall in Warehouse District, we typically go to Cow Bar Burgers, or we have a curry from the Indian
Just
place.
limited with what I can eat.
Yeah, Isla's Southern Chicken. Actually, they get a mention in several of these dishes we're going to talk about on this podcast. So
there you go.
Yeah, put them near the top of your list.
Isla's.
The Mecca in downtown. The Mecca is the oldest restaurant in Raleigh. Great place for breakfast. I can't remember when it opened, but it's the oldest existing restaurant in Raleigh. Famous for their southern fried chicken. Also, Clyde Cooper's, of course. They didn't have any when I went there. Sorry, they did. They did have some. I did have some fried chicken at Southern. I'm getting confused. I've been in a few barbecue places recently. But yeah, you get a choice of dark or white meat there. Also, Tupelo Honey formerly Tupelo, excuse me.
It's an Aussie version.
Yeah, formerly the Cameron Village area, now the Village. It's a popular place for brunch, and yeah, southern fried chicken there is good. Mojo's, as I mentioned, our daughter loves fried chicken sandwiches, and Mojo's does a great fried chicken sandwich. Parkside Restaurant, they do a chicken and waffle sandwich, which Clara also loves. Now, Dame's Chicken and Waffles was famous out of Durham. I'm not sure of the current status. There's also one in Kerry. I'm not sure of the current status due to COVID. I think they may have closed in Durham, unfortunately.
I think they did, yeah.
But I'm not sure about the Kerry one.
We saw it the other day, but I don't know if it's open.
Sadly, obviously restaurants are doing it tough the last 12 months. And
so pop on out and support them any way you can.
yeah. Humble Pie is another popular place in the Warehouse District, and they get rave reviews about their buttermilk fried chicken. And Rise, I'm going to mention them a few times in this podcast as well. And they have 3 locations in Raleigh, one in the Village, formerly Cameron Village, North Raleigh and Briar Creek, and well known for their biscuits, which we'll chat about later. But their righteous chicken sandwiches are supposed to be sensational, and so I have to take Clara there as well.
Sounds good.
All right, grits. You like your grits?
Not at first. I feel like so many of the southern food that we tried, I didn't like it first because it's very different.
Acquire the taste.
Yeah, you acquire it. So grits, I think, is one of those meals or dishes that can be hit and miss.
Yeah.
So I've had some really great grits and some really not so great grits.
Yeah. Now, if you're
it is unusual, but worth a try.
Yeah, we'd never had it till we come to Raleigh or the South. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a corn-based dish, like a porridge made from boiled cornmeal. And it's mostly associated with southern breakfasts. So, I mean, it can be, like if it's cold, like a porridge, like oatmeal, like can be warming and hearty, I guess.
It's really good with shrimp.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's popular, like shrimp and grits. You might have heard of shrimp and grits, which is, if I'm going to have grits, I'm going to have shrimp and grits. But we do love our shrimp, or prawns as we call them down under. So shrimp and grits, you can pretty much find them in a lot of places. But popular places in Raleigh are Big Ed's in City Market, which is a a famous place for breakfast. If you want to looking for a breakfast place, a southern breakfast place, don't miss Big Ed's. It's a classic Raleigh experience. Angie's restaurant in Ghana. Apparently been serving southern style breakfasts all day and they're very popular down there. Again, Tupelo. I have trouble with this. Tupelo Honey again. Popular for brunch and breakfast. Check them out. Again, Isla Southern Kitchen in the Morgan Street Food Hall. The Glenwood Grill is a popular restaurant out off Glenwood Avenue. Relish Craft Kitchen and Bourbon Bar. And again, Humble Pie. So put those places on your list if you're looking for some great grits or shrimp and grits.
There you go.
Now, biscuits. What when we think biscuits, we think cookies. Mm-hmm. That's what we call them back home in Oz. So it took us a while to get our head around that. But you guys, what you call biscuits, obviously is more like that flour-based baked food, kind of like, I don't know, I think similar like a scone.
Yeah, it is very similar to a scone. I find it as a little bit airier and fluffier than a scone. And typically we would have scones. I think English may call them scones, or maybe you do here, I can't remember. But we typically have them with jam and cream.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would go so well on a biscuit. So it is different kind of in flavour. But again, another thing that it took me a while to get used to. I can't eat them now, but I did actually end up really enjoying them. They're great if you have bacon or egg or something like that on it. And a guy we know, Art Stone, from the Raleigh area, actually moved to San Francisco. And
Seattle.
Oh, sorry, it was Seattle. Yeah, he's in the Pike Place, and he has Honest Biscuits, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. So he took the recipe from, I don't know if it was his mother or his grandmother, and now he's like flying over there doing so well with his biscuits, and he has a gluten-free version, and it's yummy. It's like melt in your mouth, soft, fluffy, just absolutely delicious.
Yeah, they're awesome. Hopefully he'll bring a store back to Raleigh, back to his hometown eventually. I mean, that would be awesome. But if you're in Pike Place, the famous Pike Place markets in Seattle, go and check out Honest Biscuits. But back to Raleigh. Yeah, my first experience when we moved over here in 2004 was like Bojangles, and I'm like, biscuits with the white gravy, which was also unusual for us that we never had before. It's like, what is this slop? But they were just really dry biscuits and then white gravy, and I'm like, nah, I just wasn't into it. But I have acquired the taste, especially in the last couple of years.
Not for the gravy though.
No, not for the white gravy. Yeah. No, the biscuit and all the savoury add-ons. Like one of my favourite places is Jabala Coffee. They do a great biscuit. And I have a egg and bacon with pimento cheese, and it's awesome. Like if I live walking distance from there, it'd be dangerous. That'd be my breakfast staple.
Nice. Well, let us know if you like the white gravy, and for people who don't understand it, I mean, we love gravy back in Australia, but we have brown gravy, and we have it with things like fries. Absolutely delicious fries and gravy, by the way.
Yeah, like meat. Like
beef. Which sausage, I'm sure people do that here anyway.
Pie, chips and gravy, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but we'd never heard of white gravy before. So it was like, what is this? Just not to our liking, but I know a lot of Southern people absolutely love it.
Yeah, but popular biscuit places in Raleigh, as I mentioned, I like Jabala Coffee on Hillsborough Street. There's also one in is it Fayetteville Village in the North Raleigh area? I could be wrong. Rise, as I mentioned, they originally opened in Durham in 2012. They have several stores within North Carolina and other states, and they're really popular. Focus on their biscuits and fried chicken sandwiches, as I mentioned. Other places are Real Biscuits at the State Farmers Market. Biscuitville, another North Carolina company. Well, the founder's originally from North Carolina, but I was reading the first Biscuitville app actually opened in Virginia, and then they came back to North Carolina. But Biscuitville, very popular with the locals. Big Ed's in City Market. I've had a biscuit there with my breakfast, my ribeye steak and eggs. That was great. Flying Biscuit Cafe, of course, hence the name, and Beasley's Chicken and Honey. So you can get your fried chicken and your biscuits at
There you go.
Beasley's.
Double Southern.
Double Southern. All right, one of those sides we're talking about from barbecue, hush puppies, or it's common with barbecue or seafood as the side. Mm-hmm. And you'll see that a lot of places. It's another southern specialty.
Yeah, again, unusual. I know a lot of people like it with honey butter because it is, it's a deep fried cornmeal. And so, the honey butter can sweeten it up. Again, it's when we first got our hush puppies, we were like, what is this? And unusual flavour. I don't personally like them too much. And I did hear a story about how it's a not proven story, I guess an assumption or a myth, that they were created in South Carolina when they would roll up bits of the cornmeal to feed to the dogs at cookouts to hush the puppies.
Ah, wow, I like that.
There you go. So whether it's true or not, I like it. I'm going to roll with it because that's a really cool story.
That is a good story. But yeah, local favourites for hush puppies on the seafood side of things. The North Carolina seafood restaurant at the Farmers Market, that is popular, period. Captain Stanley's Seafood, the Pit Authentic Barbecue, as I mentioned, in the Warehouse District, Old Time Barbecue, of course, and Clyde Cooper's. So, think barbecue place or a seafood place. You're probably going to find hush puppies there. All right, country ham. Obviously, North Carolina, they're big on their pork and their pig industry.
Big pig industry.
And country ham is another classic Southern tradition, and that is aged, smoked, dried to perfection, and heavily salted.
I love my salt. So
you
I'm
do.
all for
I
it.
try and avoid salt. Like cut back on the salt, so it's not. I mean, I do love the country ham, but not too salty. If it's too overpowering for me sometimes. But yeah, ham and eggs, ham and bacon, like great. Like sign me up for that for breakfast.
Yeah. Fried green tomatoes, throw them in. That's another
they're coming.
popular one. Okay.
Yeah, so you can try it at breakfast in Raleigh at Big Ed's, as I mentioned. Great southern breakfast place in Raleigh for all things, especially their country ham. And if you've got kids, their pancakes are huge. So take your kids and get their pancakes and get a biscuit. Can't go wrong. The Mecca, as I mentioned, the oldest restaurant in Raleigh, popular for their country ham. State Farmers Market restaurant, the ham and cheese omelette is highly recommended. Rise, again, with their biscuits and their country ham as a filling. And as I mentioned, Jabala, the ham or bacon and egg and pimento cheese. There you go.
It's another southern thing, I think.
With a great
pimento
coffee.
cheese.
Great lattes too. We've spoken about Jabala a few times, but yeah, good place for a coffee and then a biscuit. And they do have other foods too. Our kids love their banana Nutella waffles there as well. So yeah, your kids are happy. We're happy.
All right, collard greens.
Collard greens.
There you go.
Get your
As I
greens,
mentioned,
as they say.
Didn't really like it to begin with, but now I've gotten to enjoy it. Usually cooked in a kind of vinegarish flavour to it, but very healthy, very southern. Pairs
southern.
well with all the foods we've mentioned. So
Yeah,
definitely order a side of collard
had a
greens.
lash at it one Thanksgiving ago, didn't we? In our slow cooker. But yeah, there's many ways to cook it, but it's, best known way to do it in the South is low and slow in a stock pot or your slow cooker with plenty of bold, smoky ingredients. Like they put apple cider vinegar in there, sugar, and sometimes smoked paprika. So yeah, but I'm sure everybody's got their own recipe and way of doing it. But yeah, I don't mind the collard greens.
Yeah, they're good. All right, what else do we have?
What else? We are moving through the list, and next up, I've got to mention places in Raleigh you can get your collard greens.
Okay.
Not at our place on Thanksgiving. We're not the experts, but 42nd Street Oyster Bar and Seafood Grill in the Glenwood South area. Sam Jones Barbecue. Looking forward to checking that out for more reasons than one. City Barbecue. I haven't been there yet either, but it's more of a chain, but somebody suggested it the other day on Instagram Live. Go and check out City Barbecue. And there's one close near us too. Old Time Barbecue, Lucky 32 in Carey, and Joyce and Family Restaurant in Fuquay, Varina.
Yeah, there's some great local restaurants there.
Yeah, a few options there. All right. Now, one of our youngest daughter, Savannah's favourite dishes, the old mac and cheese.
Well, it does depend on what day it is.
Yeah, well, macaroni and cheese. But yeah, that's true. She's
changes.
very fussy. One day she's like,
One day she likes hush puppies, the next
day,
she
no.
doesn't. The next it's mac and cheese.
next day it's a cheeseburger, or it's chicken
Never collard
chicken
greens.
nuggets. But
Never collard greens.
she's still developing a food taste. But yeah, the old mac and cheese is obviously it's a dish of macaroni pasta with cheese sauce, typically cheddar cheese, and it's a popular side also with barbecue. And you can get it in a lot of places, but popular places in Raleigh, well known, are the Mac House. I haven't been there, but obviously just by the name of it, sounds like they know what they're doing. It's off Falls of the Noose Road in North Raleigh. Isla's Southern Kitchen again. Clyde Cooper's Barbecue. Now, Pool's Diner is another Ashley Christensen restaurant. I think it was possibly her first one, actually. But she does a famous mac and cheese dish called the macaroni gratin. I don't know how to or gratin. I've seen photos of it. It looks amazing. Like it's just like this big bowl and it's just spewing over the top of it. It looks sensational. Looks very hearty. Looks very filling and tasty. So looking forward to taking the kids there and checking that out. Relish Kitchen and Bourbon Bar. They're known as a local mecca of mac and cheese off Creedmoor Road, and again, Sam Jones Barbecue.
There you go. Looking forward to
Good deal.
visiting some of these places.
Yeah. Now, fried green tomatoes, as you mentioned before, another trendy southern side dish featuring unripe tomatoes washed in egg and buttermilk, coated in cornmeal and fried. Sounds healthy to me. I don't know about you.
I never realised it was coated in cornmeal. I thought it was coated in flour, like a wheat-based, which is why I've never tried it.
Yeah, there might
Now
be
I
some
can.
different takes on
It's
it. Who knows?
cornmeal.
But actually, you should check that out.
I will.
I'm sure I've had it before. It doesn't come to mind too much as something memorable, but we'll keep a lookout for it. But popular places in Raleigh to get your fried green tomatoes fix are, again, The Pit Authentic Barbecue, Tobacco Road Sports Cafe, Nofo at The Pig, their pimento cheese and smoked bacon jam version. Sounds
Down
interesting.
in 5 Points.
Is it?
Nofo,
I wasn't sure where it was actually,
Yeah.
but I should look that up. But yeah, there you go. Wire Hill Kitchen and Brewing. We love their food there. Very creative. They do their fried green tomatoes like Brewer's Grain, Country Ham, Child Scallion Ranch. Relish again. You say it. I'm done with it.
Tupelo honey.
Tupelo
We're back
honey.
to Tupelo honey.
5 times for me,
I
and
hope
I
I
might
am
get there.
saying it right now, actually.
I don't know why I have so much trouble with that word.
It's different.
Beasley's Chicken and Honey and the Glenwood Grill. Apparently does a great fried green tomato.
There you go. All these restaurants I haven't heard of before.
man.
It makes me go, my God, Raleigh does have a lot of
That's
food.
crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Some old classic ones, some new ones. Like it's all of the above. And
Yeah.
like I said, the list is just getting endless. I don't know how we're ever going to get through it, but
So many options.
we'll do our best.
We will. Okay, moving on to the next one.
Sweet potato pie. Now, who knew, like we didn't know until we lived in North Carolina or Raleigh, that North Carolina is the leading producer of sweet potatoes in the US.
They are.
There you go.
We learned that when we visited Johnston County a couple of years ago. Well, if you've been listening to our podcast, you know that I taught down in Smithfield in Johnston County for 4 years in total. So it's not like we just went to visit Johnston County a couple of years ago, but we actually went there to visit as a tourist, a traveller.
Yeah.
And so we did a few experiences down there, and that's when we learnt, and they call them yams here, I believe, that it's such a big producer of them, which I should have known. I'm sure my students used to tell me all the time about it, and I probably even taught them that in social studies, and I just can't remember it.
So there you go, sweet potatoes. I mean, like another North Carolina's known for a few cool things, like Krispy Kreme, like Biscuitville, like I mentioned, Michael Jordan, of course, Wrangler jeans, Pepsi,
know that.
Pepsi. North Carolina's got some.
Great state.
Yeah, got some things going on. But sweet potato, I mean, you love potatoes. Like, that's one of your
Yeah, and
indulgences.
I don't have a sweet tooth, so sweet potato I do like, but I can't have too much of it because it does get too sweet for me. Whereas potatoes all the way because it's no sweetness at all.
Yeah. But I love sweet potato. Like we make wedges. Yeah, I love them with a burger. Usually they'll be my side with a burger if there's the option, sweet potato fries.
Yeah,
or wedges. But sometimes they put so much sugar on them. Again, I don't like too sweet. Like sweet potatoes already sweet enough. Like why pile it on with sugar?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you're coming to the South, well, maybe even just America, anyone listening from Australia, I'm sure there are. Sweetness, sweet sugar in the bread. You're going to hate the bread over here.
Yeah.
It's like sugar is everywhere. Get used to it and you'll learn ways to avoid it. But definitely sugar on sweet potato fries just doesn't work. But
yeah, but
Southerners love it.
Sweet potato pie, it's a traditional dessert popular at Thanksgiving and Christmas instead of apple pie, which you'll find in a lot of other parts of the country. But obviously sweet potatoes in North Carolina.
Yeah, and over here they don't really do apple pie, they do apple cobbler, which is kind of same but different. And we would call it apple crumble in Australia. I think apple cobbler is similar to that.
Yeah, and one other thing from Oz, pumpkin pie, like that we loved, which doesn't seem as popular here, like as back home.
Pumpkin pie is, we discovered pumpkin pie here in the US because in Australia.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm backward. We do
savoury
everything with pumpkin except pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
So, yeah, that's fine. It's easy to get it all confused. But, yeah, in Australia we do roast pumpkin, which is delicious. I cannot understand how Americans haven't cottoned on to that.
And
maybe our pumpkins are different.
And pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup, which you start to find a little bit more here now. You get more butternut pumpkin soup.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking, the pumpkin soup that I miss. And
the roast pumpkin.
Miss,
but I make it here in my own house. But
yeah.
It's just the best. Blackened. It's got to be blackened on the outside. But anyway, let's go back to
sweet potato pies.
I prefer pumpkin pie to sweet potato pie, but
yeah, so do I actually.
Yeah.
Pecan pie. It's probably my favorite. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Pecan, like.
Just say one. Someone's going to understand you.
Yeah.
Either way,
yeah.
I'll get you.
That's probably my favorite pie.
Yeah.
But popular places in Raleigh to get sweet potato pie is the Slice Pie Company, Hayes Barton Cafe and Dessertery.
Oh my God, their desserts are incredible.
If you're looking for cakes, don't miss Hayes Barton in 5 Points, man. Their cakes are just humongous, and delicious and all sorts of flavour. But apparently they have a good sweet potato pie there. Old Time Barbecue, Jack's Seafood and Soul Restaurant, and Bittersweet, which is a bar / coffee dessertery place in downtown. They do some awesome desserts and stuff. And
their pumpkin brulee.
Pumpkin brulee was awesome. We're talking about
my birthday cake.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And a great espresso martini.
Yep. I had it with an Irish coffee.
And Irish coffee.
Could not be beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Bittersweet in downtown. Check it out. It's only a small place, but good coffees, good cocktails, great desserts.
Very good. And while we're talking about sweet potato pie, we cannot overlook the very strange southern favourite sweet potato casserole. I thought when I first heard it, I thought this sounds like it could be really good. And then I scooped it up and tried it, and it's full of marshmallows. And it's so sweet.
Marshmallowy.
It's bizarre.
Can you cook it over a fire, like s'mores? Add some chocolate to it.
Pot of mashed sweet potato with marshmallows, and if you love sweet foods, you're going to love it. But it's served more as a side to your cookout and your barbecue. So, look, go for it. For me, I'm just too sweet, can't do it.
Yeah.
But it is a very southern experience. So, you travel to experience the local cultures. You've just moved here from somewhere that doesn't have sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah.
It's not your typical casserole.
If you want to get your own sweet potatoes, head to the State Farmers Market in downtown Raleigh. Good place to get fruit and veg. And go to the breakfast place and the seafood place. Get your biscuits, Get your ham and egg omelettes.
Yep.
While you're there.
There you go, you'll be in the south. And one thing I do want to mention, another thing I found really bizarre when we first moved over here, because Australians typically, I don't think Australians like sugar. Everyone loves sugar, but I don't think they're as mad on it as what Americans are. And I think it was my first day at school, and it was a teacher work day. And I got the message: "Don't worry about bringing your breakfast. We're supplying breakfast." I thought, okay, this is going to be great. I come to school expecting to see toast or eggs or bacon, because that's kind of what we'd eat at home. And on the table was a smorgasbord of donuts. And I was like, is this our breakfast? And they said, oh, yeah, isn't it fabulous? And I'm like, you have donuts for breakfast?
Of course I do.
Of course. I was like, oh, my God, that is so weird. And I was like, oh, gosh, is there something else? I don't think I can start my day with a donut.
Oh, maybe as a treat every now and then, but not as a breakfast staple.
Is a breakfast? But it was delicious because it was Krispy Kreme, and it was my first Krispy Kreme, and it was melt in the mouth. I still think Krispy Kreme for me are the best donuts. I just was like, whoa, this is an experience. I haven't tried a donut like this before.
Yeah.
So it was a treat, definitely. But I couldn't do donuts for breakfast all the time.
Oh, man. I mean, they taste great at the time, but it's one of those foods that, a little bit later, you're like, ooh, kind of regretting it. But,
Although I do say that when I taught in London, well, I was 21 and didn't really care much. I used to...
You're having a beer for breakfast.
I used to teach in the Jewish area of East London. I was having beers for breakfast sometimes. But I was teaching in the East area of London, in this Jewish area, and they had this fantastic Jewish bakery. And so every morning I would walk to school and stop in at the bakery and get a jam donut for breakfast.
Oh, wow.
That's what I survived on. Probably did start
jam donuts.
after
That takes me
hangover.
back to my school days in Australia. Get a jam. How good
so
was a jam
good.
donut?
The sugar, not powdered sugar, but sugar on the outside.
Yeah, but I don't know how we got onto the donut topic. We might have to do a podcast on donuts and get the girls on, because we're going to review the best donuts in Raleigh and write about it.
It's Southern, and Krispy Kreme's from North Carolina.
Yeah,
Let's
and obviously
not
you got Duck
forget.
Donuts from the Outer Banks. You got a bunch of donut places. But yeah, my favourite, just to finish on the donuts quickly, is just the old cinnamon donut, just straight out of the oven. Amazing. I love those things growing up.
I think I'm still going to go with jam. Takes me back to London.
Yeah,
Think
but
of old days.
that was all the list I had of the southern dishes. I'm sure there's more that I wanted to share, but if anything else comes to mind, southern classic foods.
No, I think I think that's pretty well covered of all the unusual and unique types of food that we
I guess
discovered.
one thing
coming
that's
here.
popped into my head, hopefully it's on this year, I'm not sure, it takes a lot of planning, is the state fair in Raleigh. I'm sure you can get a fixing of great southern fried dishes there.
Oh, what are those? Oh my gosh! No, I'm not going to. I saw someone Experience Raleigh had it on their site the other day. It's like a it's like a donut thing, but they're in long strips. You get it at the fair, and they're. Oh, I'm going to pull it up.
Pull it up.
Okay, keep talking.
Pull it up.
I'm going to pull it
You
up.
have to show me a photo.
I need it. Like
I'm sure
a
I've seen it,
producer
but yeah.
that I can just say, hey.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
What's his guy?
Pull it up.
Such and such. Bring up this slide. Bring up
it
this
up
clip.
now. I want to have a look at it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I know
anyway.
it's state fair. I mean, the thing that comes to mind at state fair is walking around with a giant turkey leg.
Exactly. Exactly.
So get your
Funnel cake.
funnel cake. Oh yes, yes.
There
give
you
me
go.
a look. Give me a look
Funnel
at these
cake.
puppies.
It's like
And if you're watching at home on YouTube,
there your funnel cake. So it's like it's kind of like donuts, I guess,
yeah.
and they're long,
Like-
thin
they're
pastry
not like
type
beignets,
things.
are they?
Maybe like beignets in texture, but it's
like just
long
with the
and
powdered
thin. Powdered
sugar on top looks like a beignet from like New Orleans.
Yeah, but a long,
the
very
shape.
finger
Yeah.
shape of it.
Yeah.
But their funnel cake is, oh my gosh, my kids, every time my students that I taught, state fair would come along, all they would talk about is going to get some funnel cakes.
Well, there you go. We'll have to look up where you get your funnel cakes on. Well, obviously the state fair, which is usually in October by memory. So hopefully COVID has calmed itself
my
down by
gosh,
then.
please.
And we can at least have one festival and event this year, just one.
Yeah, just give us one.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the big turkey legs, it always makes me laugh. People walking around.
That was another cultural experience where we're like, what
Is
are
that?
they
It's like a
eating?
big club where you could
We've
beat
gone back
someone
to
with it.
medieval times.
Yeah, it's like the Flintstones walking around.
And I think we're like,
Turkey
we
leg.
have to get a turkey leg.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We got our photo.
sure.
It's like,
I've seen it in
I
a
was
few
here in the
places. It might
South.
have even been, was it Disneyland? I saw people buying turkey legs somewhere. I can't remember where.
Universal maybe?
Maybe Universal.
can't
I don't know.
remember.
Or some theme park.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, they're not that common that you see them in like restaurants and stuff.
No,
Obviously,
you more see them
it's like
at
a
fairs and
like
theme
parks and stuff like that. But yeah, Southern.
Love it. All right, there you go.
Yeah, nothing else comes to mind as far as Southern dishes. There's plenty there to fill you up and get your fried and grease fix and what have you. Yeah.
And one thing I love, I'll just throw in just for our Aussie audience, potato gems. Over here, they call them tater tots.
Tater tots. How good's a tater tot?
We love tater tots. And sometimes you can get really creative toppings like melted cheese and bacon and create a whole meal out of it.
Yeah.
Tater tots are the bomb.
Yeah. I was just thinking drink-wise. I don't think we'll do classic Southern drinks. Maybe we will in the future, but I was just going to mention sweet tea is obviously the other rave thing. Have you sweet tea on your porch? But I can't do it either. Way too sweet for me and sugary and I'm trying to
I feel like we
trying to
might
cut
get
back
kicked
on
out
the
of the
sugar.
South here.
Yeah, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Help us out. No, I love your barbecue. Love your barbecue. Bring it on. Fill me with barbecue.
sweet
Feed the man
tea.
meat. But yeah, sweet tea.
We do have rocking chairs on our porch. We've definitely embraced that Southern tradition. So if you do come over, we will serve you maybe some green tea on the rocking porch.
No. We're not going to do that.
Sweet tea.
We're not going to do that. I was going to say I'll have a nice local craft brew for you.
Perfect.
Or if it's in the morning, we'll make a coffee, a bulletproof coffee for you. But yeah,
What's wrong with having a beer in the morning?
Well, of course, it's 5 p.m. anywhere.
And
Somewhere, as they say.
We'll serve it with some donuts.
But I ain't doing green tea. No, I ain't doing green tea or sweet tea. It'll be beer, coffee, and we'll get some donuts. That sounds good.
We can
Don't tell the kids.
A
They'll
lot
be
of
all
people
over that.
knocking on our door. We do have some Girl Scout cookies. If anyone wants to buy
Yes.
them.
Hit us up. You send us a message because we can do it over the internet, I believe. We got boxes and boxes of Girl Scout cookies. All the Thin Mints have gone. They're super popular. But $5 a box of Girl Scout cookies. Help us out.
There you go. Help us out.
We need to
For
declutter.
a good cause. We do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I bet you're starving now. I am very hungry.
I am hungry. I just want to start hitting up all these restaurants, man.
Yeah.
Like the barbecue places, the not so
Yeah.
much the fried chicken places, but take Kalara there.
Yep.
But yeah, collards, you name it.
We're going to get some funnel cakes for the girls.
Funnel cakes.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Let us know your favourite Southern dish. You can reach us, Instagram, Facebook, all the rest at This Is Raleigh. Subscribe, share us with your friends, leave a review.
Click
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Click the bell.
Turn the
notification bell on the podcast.
You can ring the bell as well.
So you get notified. And yeah, thisisraleigh.com. There's a tab at the top of our site, Raleigh Life. You click on that and you'll see all our podcasts there.
Yeah.
But this will also go out on YouTube, as you mentioned, IGTV,
Facebook video.
Facebook video.
No matter where you are, we're there.
Yeah. We're doing our best.
Thanks, guys.
We don't sleep or shower, but we're
passionate about Raleigh, y'all.
We're on every channel.
Passionate about Raleigh. All right, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.